Um, so guys, so that would be that surprise part of our collaboration with the Fusion CRO and your internship opportunities and publication opportunities that would be kept to the till end. So bear with us for the few minutes for the introduction because many students are. Please be in mute, guys, because that would disturb the class. Right. So let's start the session. Okay, let's get into the details of the webinar. Okay, and what is a clinical research? Actually, so clinical research involves studying new treatments, medications, or medical devices in people to assess the safety of the medication or the effectiveness of the medication in the people. Okay, so they gather the volunteers or the patients, they test the medication, whatever the new medication they want to try. Okay, so they try this, they test that one on the volunteers or the patients for the safety purposes and the effective purposes. So this clinical research is mainly categorized into two ones. One is observational studies and the other one is clinical studies. So before going to this observational and clinical trial, what are clinical trials? I'll explain these two. But before going to the further details, I'll just briefly explain what is the complete drug development, drug discovery process. So this is the basic concept behind any drug which is coming to the market. Okay, so there are so many years of efforts, hard work for getting one product into the market. Let's see what is this one so that you will understand how big is this pharma industry or how the opportunities means how many opportunities we have in this industry, right? So here first they'll go for if they want to find out any medicine for any disease or disorder, they'll first take 10,000 to 20,000 candidate drugs and they screen that one that is called drug discovery and screening. That screening is the first part of any drug discovery process. So they'll screen all these medications first and which are showing that intended purpose, which are having the medical means which are having the that curable nature for that intended disease. So those are said to be the lead compounds. So next process is that lead optimizations. From among all these 10 or 20,000 drug candidate drugs, they will means these lead optimizations drug will be very minor. Maybe or 10 or 100 very minor drugs would be there. Okay, so these lead optimization drugs. Next process is what are the leads? Lead medications and the optimization of this lead medication. So here they will go for the complete study of the medication, the combinational chemistry and also structure-based drug design. They'll do this complete study on the drug, like the characterization of that one. And then they'll check for the ADMET, means the absorption of the medication, how the absorption is happening. I mean, after taking a medication, so how the absorption of that medication, what is the distribution, metabolism of that medication, excretion and toxicity studies comes next. And then there comes the clinical trials. We all know what are clinical trials, right? So there comes the clinical trials part. So clinical trials is conducted in 4 phases. We can discuss this thing in later. So after this clinical trials, so once they got the safety information and the effective information of the medication, so means after this clinical trial phase, we can confirm that medication is causing some beneficial effects to the some disease. And what mainly the main important thing here is the benefits of that medication always outweigh the risks of the medication, the harms of the medication. Then only it get approved. So after clinical trials, what happens? They submit the NDA. They submit that medication for the NDA approval, new drug application. So to get what is new drug application? To get a medicine product into the market, so we have to get permissions from the regulatory authorities, right? So this NDA is, this NDA application is, we are applying for the regulatory authorities as NDA application. Okay, once it got approved, then only a market comes to the product. Okay, this is the whole idea behind a drug being released into the market. You have seen how much efforts are being, how many years of efforts are being, not only efforts, the resources have been invested in this, right? So these are the areas we can get our jobs, right? So continuation of this previous one, what are the observational and clinical trials? The observational studies are research studies in which researchers collect the information from the participants or look at the data that was already collected. And what is the data they are collecting actually from the participants or the patients? The data about the medical data, about biological samples such as tissue or blood provided by the participants. In to make you understand better, I can say in a simple words, it's like a they're studying are analyzing the blood samples or tissues of the patient to know the results of the medication, how it is being absorbed, or how it is being distributed in the blood. So what are the effects of the medication on the safety of the patients or volunteers who involved. So these are observational studies. Okay, next one is clinical trials. So what are clinical trials? So this is very important. So clinical trials are also called as interventional studies. And here in clinical trials, so these clinical trials are conducted to test the safety, effectiveness of the medicinal interventions. Medicinal intervention is not it's just the medicines, such as medications, procedures, and tools in living people. This is called clinical trials. So what are we doing in clinical trials? We are conducting some tests to know the safety of that medication. How safe is the medication? Means whether it is causing any adverse reactions in a patient or any adverse event in a patient, or anyone is getting side effects. That is safety. And effectiveness means that medication is actually showing the effect or not. Suppose if that they are developing a medicine of 50 mg, that 50 mg drug is causing the intended effect or not. So that is checking the effectiveness of the medication. So here comes, so that in clinical trials, we are checking, or we are going for the safety and effectiveness evaluation. So in clinical trials, this is conducted in majorly 4 steps: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. Before coming to these clinical trials, there would be a preclinical phase. So what is this preclinical phase? In preclinical phase, it is actually a laboratory research. It determines a treatment is useful and safe in vitro in the animal models. So in animals, they do the study of that medication in the laboratory conditions. That is those are preclinical phase. So after the preclinical phase, they apply for the investigational new drug application to the regulatory authority. So we have done this preclinical phase successfully, and on animals, this medicine is showing some kind of effect. So they will request, so we are requesting to get the permission. So that is investigational new drug application. So after getting the application, after getting that permission, they will go for the clinical trials. So clinical trials is conducted in 4 phases. First phase, so they will check the safety of the medication. How safe is this medication? Is it very hazardous or causing any harm, or deaths are happening, any life-threatening conditions are occurring? So how safe is the medication? So they'll check that one. And it is in phase 1 very few, because this is concerned with the safety of the medication. So only very limited people are participating. Maybe 1 to 10 people, hardly, not more than that. Only those many people are involved in phase 1 studies. Coming to the next one is phase 2 studies. So after successful conduction of these phase 1 studies, they will go for the phase 2 studies. So in this phase 2 studies, they will check the safety and effectiveness of the medication in few hundreds of people. So here what they are checking, not only the safety, but also the effectiveness, the effect of the medication. How effective is this medication? They'll check that one. So here they are conducting these phase 2 studies on few hundreds of people. Okay, so that is phase 2. And coming after a successful completion of phase 2, they'll go for the phase 3. What is phase 3? So here they'll, whatever they have done, mostly in the phase 2, they are just repeating the same thing in the phase 3. They are checking the safety of the medication and also the effectiveness of the medication, but in a larger group. Maybe more than 1,000 to 2,000 people or 3,000 people, not more than that. Okay, so in very limited people, they are conducting this phase 3 studies for the safety and effective person. So after completion of these 3 phases, they will get so much of data regarding the the information about the medicine, right? So with all those information, they submit the new drug application to the regulatory authority. And once it got approved, then only a product comes into the market. So that is phase 4, which is called post-market phase. So in this phase 4, there are more than 10,000 people, n number of people, means more than 10,000 people can join in this fourth phase of clinical trials. So this is once a market is released. So this is the basic idea behind the clinical trials. So I'm not going to take your most of the much more time. So the process of a clinical study, how it goes. Okay, the process of the clinical study. First, it all starts with the protocol. First, once once preclinical studies are completed, they'll get approval for the clinical trials, right? So from there, so first they'll come up with a protocol approval. They'll write a protocol and they'll get that protocol has to be approved by the regulatory authorities. So they'll get a protocol approval, and then what is the next step? Then they go for the investigator recruitment. They'll appoint one investigator to check out, to look after these complete clinical trials. And then what? So this investigator recruits the patients or the volunteers who are participating in the clinical trials. So after these volunteers are joined in the clinical trials, the investigator every day how much dose of the medication is being given to the patient, what are the conditions of the patient, everything regarding the patient, the investigator note downs. So those are said to be case reports forms and data clarification forms. Okay, so in these 2 forms, they'll note down the data and they secure the data, and they will also collect the blood samples or whatever the samples needed for the further observational studies, and the data from this lab test and this CRF and the data clarification forms. So the information from this both goes to this data manager who handles the complete clinical trial data. Okay, so from the clinical data manager, he distributes the information whichever needed for the statistical, means that person is called biostatistician. And then the clinical information regarding the safety and effectiveness of that information goes to the clinical clinician. Okay, once this data is gathered and completely studied, then after completion of this gathering of this data, they will go for the NDA application. Then only they will get the regulatory authority approval. So that is just a general overall idea about clinical trials. Now the important thing is, around the clinical trials, if you learn the clinical trials, clinical research, if you learn about clinical research, if you have a complete idea of clinical research, so what position of jobs, what kind of jobs you are getting into this clinical research industry, you should have this minimum idea, right? So here we are discussing about the same thing. So here, clinical means the job positions in the clinical research industry are clinical. We can go as a clinical research coordinator, or you can go as a clinical trial assistant, as an investigator, and clinical research associate, data manager, data entry, and means clinical trial data entry operator, and clinical site manager. We can go as a medical information, we can go in the medical information team, and we can start our career as a medical writer also. The clinical trial basic information for all these kinds of job is clinical trials. They'll ask, definitely ask you in the interview, the topic which is being asked in interviews is definitely clinical trials. The minimum knowledge of this clinical research is very important. So for medical writers and for IRBs and regulatory affairs specialists, so you know the regulatory affairs are very top notch in the pharma industry, right? For that one also, basic idea or basic information they have to learn is clinical research. Then only they'll go after, depending on this one, only they'll go for this regulatory affairs. And you can be as an auditor, means after a few years of experience, you can be converted in your job into auditor in the clinical trial, in clinical science. And drug safety associates, and pharmacovigilance specialist, and statistician, and medical advisor. So all these jobs are available in the clinical research industry, right? Means all are depending, means all these jobs, whatever I mentioned here, are all involved with this clinical research industry. The basic core of all these industries or all these job positions is clinical research. So it is very important to have the clinical research knowledge. So what I have described earlier is just the definitions and overall, but the clinical research is like a C. Okay, so we can learn more and we can get the knowledge. So I'm going to describe few of the job descriptions about few of the job positions I have mentioned here. So it's not possible to give complete idea about all these job positions I mentioned here, but I'll explain few which are into this clinical research corely. Okay, so what are the job roles and responsibilities as a clinical research associate? So we can go as so the roles and responsibilities are, so he is responsible for abstracting the data from the source documents into the research record and performing quality checks on the data, preparing reports, and interim monitoring of the trial. And he has to monitor the patient accrual, sorry. And the clinical research associate may complete case report forms or enter the data electronically. So these are the few day-to-day roles of the job roles and responsibilities for this clinical research associate. And clinical research coordinator is there, right? So what are their responsibilities? So clinical research coordinator, he manages and conducts the day-to-day activities in a clinical trial. And also he acts as he or she, whoever acts as a liaison for the clinical site. And also clinical research coordinator ensures the staff are properly trained as per the protocol. And he is responsible for recruiting or registering participants, and clinical research coordinator maintains study guidelines also. He is responsible for that one. And they collect or review the data which is entered into the study base. So this is just a few of the day-to-day tasks of that one. And investigators. So the investigators are responsible for the protecting the rights, safety, and welfare of human subjects in the study they conduct. Okay, and investigators assure that the institutional review board that complies with the FDA regulation conducts the trial and continuing the ethical review of the study. So basically, he is the person who is protecting the patients or volunteers' rights. Okay, so he has to make understand that patients are voluntaries, what they are going through these clinical trials, and has to take the consent, and is also responsible for their rights. And investigator has to follow the study protocol and to make changes only after notifying the sponsor, unless necessary, to protect the rights and safety or welfare of the subjects. And investigator personally conduct or supervise the researchers, and investigator informs the sub-investigators or the other assisting in the conduct of the investigation of their obligations in meeting these commitments. So he is responsible for overall clinical site. Now, the very important one, the salary structure. So how many of you are interested to know the salary structure in the clinical research industry? Raise your hands. Yes. I can see many hands. Yeah. So the salary structure. So it is not possible for me to explain all the research, means all the job position salary structure here one by one. Okay, so I'll explain on a general basis. For each and every position, it's not possible. So for all the positions involved here, for the first 1 to 2 years, they starts with the 2.4 to 4 lakh per annum. The starting position, as a fresher, if you start a job today, you are joining with 2.4 to 4 lakhs per annum. Okay, and if you joined, it means if you have gained little bit of experience, and for 2 to 5 years, you will be in 4 lakhs to 7 lakh per annum package. And clinical research industry offers these 7 to 10 lakhs per annum for 5 to 7 years of experienced candidates. And for 7 to 10 years and plus, okay, you can expect 15 lakh per annum. You must be consistent with your industry so that you can reap very good results. Okay, so I know a few of my colleagues or few of my juniors who have these 5 years, who are 7 years or into 10 years of experience. They are taking 10 lakhs per annum, 9 lakhs per annum also now. My juniors. If if you are into the industry, if you have this 10 years of experience, 10 years plus experience, you will be obviously into 15 to 20 lakhs per annum. But that is on the basis you show the consistency in that career. Okay, so this is all the salary structure. And I also want to mention one thing here to you to make you understand better about the salary structures. So why is the range? See, for few cities, the cost of living is very less. For few cities, cost of living is very high. So if you join any clinical research industry which has minimum cost of living, like a normal city, not a metropolitan city. Okay, so there you can start this with the lowest package because you can manage with everything with 2.4 lakhs. But if it is a metropolitan city and if the cost means, for example, I say the Bangalore's cost of living is high. If you get 2.4 lakh annum in the Bangalore, so you won't get anything, right? So in such kind of areas, they will offer little bit more salaries, like 3.4 to 4 they will offer. But comparing to that one, Chennai is the cost of living is very less. So there they will offer 2.4 to 3 lakhs. So and also it also depends on the local, means if you are local in that city, so they will offer you a little bit less. But if you are a person from the Andhra Pradesh or person from the Telangana, but if you are going for the North India, they'll offer a little bit more. So depending on so many situations, they'll offer. Right. So you no need to worry because corporate industry is a fixed one. There are no bargainings there. So every company offers fair enough. Okay. Just we need to understand. So people may think this company is offering very less, but that company is offering very much. No. Everyone have their standards, but the surrounding thing, the things which I explained changes everything. And what is the future of clinical research? So future of clinical research is very promising. Like it is said to be shaped by several transformation trends and innovations which are likely to enhance the efficiency, inclusivity, and impact of research efforts. And also, so few of the things which we can see how the clinical research industry would be in the future. So there would be an integration of advanced technologies, like we can see the AI technology, which is already evolving in the clinical research industry, and personalized and precision medicine. So clinical research also becomes the personalized one, because many people are affording, and also they are going for the personalized studies also, and decentralized and report, because now the industry is evolved after this internet era. So everything is decentralized, and we can go for the remote research also in the future. And regulatory, and there is a enormous change on the regulatory and ethical evaluation in the future also, because everything, I mean, we can easily get these regulations also. And patient-centric approaches, and cost efficiency and value-based research. So this we can see the clinical research future here. And the scope of clinical research. So clinical research industry has a great future, as they would be able to make more discoveries of less common diseases. And it should be kept in mind that the government has reduced the duration of approval clinical trials now. Previously, it was um, uh, 1 to 5 years, but now it has been reduced to 3 months, and therefore there are almost 2.5 lakh vacancies in the clinical research industry as of now. So we can grab those opportunities. And I am very happy to come to this point. So where we are discussing about our collaboration with Fusion CRO, Clinical Research Organization. So Fusion, as I said earlier, Fusion Clinical Research Organization is one of the evolving clinical research organization in Andhra Pradesh. From Andhra Pradesh, it has spread its wings throughout the India, and it has almost all collaborated with almost all major hospitals and clinical research organizations. So it is very great that, and we are very fortunate that Risetrainings is collaborated with CRO. And Risetrainings always put the students, in which we always put the student, their choices and their benefits in front. So that is the main reason we collaborated with the Fusion CRO for the benefits. So by collaborating with this Fusion CRO, so what are the benefits you get? The students who are joining in the Risetraining industry will get. So the few benefits are, first thing, we are proudly to say that we are offering internship offers which directly land you in the real-time jobs. Okay, so most of the people, we have seen we have come up with so many requests from the students, so asking us to provide the internship. So we usually assist them in the for the job. So we give the referrals and make the students prepare or go for the interviews. But many students have asked the internship opportunity, so like to show us some internship opportunity before getting into the real-time jobs. We have, after getting so many these kind of requests, we Risetrainings is decided to go for this kind of collaborations with the means we are actually very grateful that Risetraining, means Fusion CRO is also accepted our request to take our students, Risetraining students, to go for the internship in their organization. So the internship lasts for 1 month. There is a 1 month of internship, and you no need to worry, because Fusion CRO is very big. So wherever your city is there, you can get your internship in your local city only. It's not like you have to come to this city, or where the Fusion CRO is placed, or where the Risetrainings is placed to get the internship. No, in wherever the city you are, you can have you can avail this internship opportunity because Fusion CRO can arrange those things. We can discuss the further things, and Gautam sir will help you to clarify all the doubts and after sharing his information. And the second benefit is certifications. So you can get certifications from the Fusion CRO and also from the hospitals where you have done the internship, right? So these two kinds of certificates you can take after this internship, which you can proudly showcase in your resume. So always these internships, they give much more value to your resume. It's not like you are fresher and having a good knowledge, they will take you. Of course, that is fact. But these things, these internship things, they will give you real-time experience of the job. So people will obviously, they come to you. They will show the interest to take this kind of people, right? Rather than people who are having a plain knowledge. So, and the other important thing here is publications. Fusion CRO helps you to get publications. So, students, raise your hands. How many of you are interested to take publications? I know all the pharma students here are eagerly waiting for the publications of their project works or they want to add the publications to their resume, right? Any other new publications. So almost all people are very interested, right, to get the publications. It is not easy to get the publications. So all students, you know, right? So it is very hard. It takes so much of time, so much of efforts, and you need to go for the approvals. You need to gather a team. You need to go for the approvals. It is so much of effort. So that is the reason many people won't go for the publication because it is a very risky one. It's not risky, I say. It is very hard one. Okay, so many people won't go. So, but here, Fusion CRO helps us to get publications also. Fusion CRO helps you to get publications also. Okay, that is which is very wonderful thing for any fresher. So if you have publication, anyone sees you as the best in the industry. You know this one, right? So if your project work or if you worked for any publication, so if you know some knowledge, so how the interviewer treats you, he is some knowledgeable person. He knows something. He has done the real work, and if our work is published somewhere, it gives us so much of how to say, fame, right? So publications are very important to us for all the students. I'm not only talking about pharma people, for the people who are, I mean, these MSc or BSc life science students or BAMS, BHMS students, if you have this kind of publications, you can easily go for the medical writing, right? Medical writing is all about these things only, publications and writing everything. So you can go, and also for the pharmacovigilance and all these clinical research jobs, you are very much eligible. So publications will always help you. So these are the opportunities we are providing you. And so we are collaborating with Fusion CRO and also working with them. Okay, so sending our students, our Rise Training students to the Fusion CRO, that would actually is a fortune for us. Okay, so we are very happy to do that one. So Rise Trainings, so like I said earlier, Rise Trainings always put the benefits of the students in front. So thank you so much for listening to me. So this is our company addresses. So you can contact us through this number. I will paste this number in our chat. So if you want to take this kind of opportunities, you can always means inquire through this number. And also I'll hand over this webinar to Gautam sir. So sir, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you for your like introduction and all the things. So students, hi everyone.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
So all you are from the pharma background, M.Pharm, B.Pharm or anything else?
Mixed, sir. Life science students are also there.
So may I know who are from the pharma background?
Raise your hands, guys.
If you are comfort with Telugu, I can able to continue in the Telugu. That is not an issue. So tell me, let me know what is the like feasible language for you. I can able to explain in Telugu as well if you want.
Okay, Telugu people keep quiet. So if anyone is not
If you,
comfortable with Telugu, then raise your hands. People, please rise down. I mean, lower your hands. If you are not comfortable with Telugu, then only raise your hands. Some doctors are. So two people raised their hands. Saddam is not comfortable with Telugu. So maybe we need to go for English only.
so rest of the so everybody is comfortable with Telugu, right?
Yes.
Sir.
Hello.
Except for the Saddam.
Except for Sada, everybody. So Sada, I'll explain you in the last.
Saddam Hussein, I guess.
Saddam. I can able to explain you in the last. So rest of the people are feasible with Telugu, right? Raise your hands, please.
So another one, Kranti Govind is also not comfortable with Telugu.
Okay, so can I go with
No,
English
no, no.
language?
This is not for Andhra people. This is online one and for everyone in the India.
So okay. So I'll continue in Telugu. That is not an issue. So who let me know. So you have got some information from Preethi about the clinical research. Anyone can explain about the clinical research, how the phase trials will begin? Anyone can. At least basic knowledge. Shannon, Kiran, Aswita, Venkat Krishna, Uma Rakshita. Anyone can explain about the clinical research, what you have understood from Preethi? No one.
Firstly, preclinical studies are done.
Okay.
Then we have clinical trials like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4.
Okay.
In phase 1, we studied with less number of people.
Okay.
In phase 2, hundreds of people we can study.
Okay.
In phase 3, hundreds to thousands of people we can study. In phase 4, that is post-marketing surveillance, we can study about 10,000 people.
Okay. Nice. You, Aswita, you are from pharma background or any else other
Yes, sir.
biotech?
I'm pursuing M.Pharmacy second year, sir.
So okay, good. So you know what is the clinical trials? What is the phases of clinical trials? In which phase? How many patients are going to enroll? How many healthy volunteers are going to enroll in the clinical study? What is the data you are going to capture? So you can learn this basic knowledge from the academics, right? So a part
Yes,
of
sir.
this, you don't know about how the clinical trials begin, how the clinical trial data will be submitted, what is the use of clinical trials, what is the role of clinical trials in the society and the entire world. So could you able to raise anyone who have any publications? Anyone have any publications? Entire team, entire students or entire team. Do you have any publications? Anyone can raise you who having any one of the publication in your academics. No one have publications, right?
Yes, sir.
So okay, okay. Do it. So what is the use of publications? Anyone know? So what is the use of publications? Anyone can explain what is the use of publication? What is mean by publication? Anyone can. So okay, I'll get into the point directly. I'll tell you simply and logically. So first of all, so how the clinical trial starts, the ma'am already. What is the difference between clinical research and clinical trials versus internships in clinical trials, which we are going to provide? First of all, the drug develop already it is a already the topic is covered by Preethi, but I have done some shortcut and I can able to explain you in the simple way. So the drug development is the basic part, and the drug development process is the process through which potential new therapeutics in for new indication or else ongoing indications or new diseases or ongoing diseases. So the entities are identified using a combination of experimental, translation, and clinical models. Clinical models, in a sense, nothing but clinical research. So coming to the part A, this is the basic thing from the development of medical. So whether there is a combination of chemicals, two chemicals, or any extract from the plant, or any extract from the humans, or any extracts from the plant. So the chemist will identify the molecule, and they will develop the molecule either it in the solid forms or liquid form or injectables. They will select the target, like target identification and validation. So anyone can tell what is the use of paracetamol, or what is the use of any aceclofenac? Anyone can explain what is the use of aceclofenac, paracetamol?
Anti-inflammatory, like they help in reducing the
So
inflammation.
that is the target. So the target of aceclofenac or paracetamol is it acts as a analgesic or anti-inflammatory. NSAID, like in a sense,
Steroid.
non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug. So the target of the drug is so and so. So this will be identified and the target will be decided. It will be developed by the chemists, and the hit identification, and the next step will be lead identification and the lead optimization. So the entire part will be taken care by the chemist or scientist. They will develop and they will give the drug molecule in the form of API, or else final finished good in the form of syrup, or else in the form of tablet, or else in the form of injection. So part B, coming to the preclinical trials, there is a three type of trials, like in vitro, in vivo, toxicology. What is meant by in vitro, what is meant by in vivo, what is meant by because I am explaining this all these three parts because these are all correlated to clinical trials. As you said, the clinical trial is not up to development of clinical phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. The phase 1 will be conducted by on healthy volunteers up to 10 subjects. Phase 2 will be conducted up to 220 to 30. Phase 3, 300. That is a general scenario. That is the general topic which can known by every pharma student in the academic level. So what is the use of in vivo, in vitro toxicology? Because from the part A, the developed molecule will be goes to preclinical, and the preclinical in vitro, in vivo toxicology studies will be done. In vitro studies in a sense, ADME process, absorption, distribution, metabolism. ADME parameters will be analyzed and the data will be collected. And the in vivo part, only behavioral, after giving the drug, only behavioral data by using different instruments can be analyzed and stored. In the toxicology, how much the identified drug and finalized drug is going to be toxic in the human, and we can decide the dosage form in the toxicology itself. So these three parts comes to the part B. Then after compiling all these part A and part B data, the part C clinical studies will be done. As you said, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4 will be the marketing surveillance. So everybody knows no molecule will goes to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. It's depend how the molecule will be decided, whether the molecule needs to be conducted in under phase 3 or under phase 2 or under phase 1. How the process will be goes. So I'm explaining. This is the simple process to understand the clinical trial startup, how the clinical trial will be startup. So first, the development and finalization of molecule with target indication. So after the conducting and collection of preclinical data, as I said, three indications: in vivo, in vitro, toxicology data will be collected, and this target indication and final lead molecule will be collected, and that these two data will be submitted to. I have shared the screen, right? Hello?
No, sir. Now we
Gautam,
can
not it.
So now,
now we can see.
okay. This is the part which I have said. The drug development process is the process which through which potential with new therapeutic candidates are identified. So coming to the part A, target will be identified. As I said, how the target will be identified using different models, and hit identification, final lead identification, lead optimization, and lead development. After this, it will goes to part B, preclinical. Under preclinical, in vivo, in vitro toxicology studies will be done. After that, part C clinical trials will be connected, like phase 1, 2, 3, 4. But anybody can tell every molecule needs to go for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3? Anybody have knowledge? Hello? Anyone can tell your knowledge. You can share your knowledge. Every molecule needs to be go for so underwent for clinical trials. It is needed or not?
No, I think they get filtered at every stage.
So it is not filtered at every stage. So I'll tell you the simple logic. So first of all, the final molecule will be developed, the target indication will be finalized, and the preclinical and clinical data will be collected. And after that, this data, this is data, that is submission of molecule data and preclinical data, which includes in vitro, in vivo toxicology data to the respective regulatory authorities or IND. So after submission of this entire data, there is a subject expert matter committee, SEC, known as a subject expert committee. There is a set of members which are mixed of different qualifications like MD Pharmacology, and the molecule, if the molecule is related to derma, there will be a derma doctor, and if the molecule is related to onco, there will be an oncologist. So there, the regulatory authority will allot a SEC committee, and they will review all this data. Finalization of molecule, preclinical data which we have collected, like includes in vivo, in vitro toxicology data, and they will review entire safety and efficacy data prior giving the approval, whether it needs to be conducted as phase 2, or they will decide whether it needs to be conducted as phase 3, or whether it will be conducted as phase 1, or else whether it will be conducted as BA/BE studies. So the expected subject expert committee will be decided, and they will decide, they will propose the study, they will recommend they will give the recommendations whether to conduct it as a phase 1 or 2 as 3 as 4. Suppose if it is eligible for phase 3, if you have kept a proposal phase 3, they will approve to conduct the clinical trials as phase 3, or else they will recommend, no, there is no need of phase 3, you need to go with phase 2, or else they will recommend you can go with BA/BE initially, or else they can approve the molecule also. There is a chances they can approve the molecule with this primary data, but it depends upon the SEC committee recommendations only. So this conducting and collection of, so if they after the recommendations, they can give the approval that they can recommend to conduct as a phase 3. So we will the pharma company will conduct the trial as phase 3, and they will conduct the trial collection of phase data as any one of the proposed and approved study phases, and the data will be compiled, analysis of data will be done, preparation of clinical study report will be done. The clinical study submission of clinical study to the, again the clinical study should be submitted to the SEC, this panel only, and the clinical study report will be submitted to SEC committee, and post SEC committee is satisfied, if everything is okay, then they will give the approval for marketing. So this is the overall process. And Preethi said there is a what is the opportunities after after taking this clinical research, or else if you entered into clinical research. So what is the roles and responsibilities? So at the time of development and finalization of molecule, there is a need of chemist and scientist. So at step 2, conducting and collection of preclinical data includes in vivo, in vitro toxicology. There is options to work as preclinical scientist or regulatory associate in preclinical industry. So at step 4, review of data by SEC committee. SEC committee is up to central government, or as regulatory authorities. There is no job option here for the regular people. And so coming to the 6th step, there is the conducting and collection of phase data. Anyone has proposed and approved now. Here there is 2 teams, site team, sponsor team. In site team, there is a team members like PA, CRC. So site team will be needs to work at hospitals. So here PA, under PA, clinical research coordinator will be there. So the clinical research coordinator will be collect the data according to the protocol, which which needs to work according to the good clinical practices. So the coming to the sponsor team, there will be these responsibilities: clinical trial assistant, CRA, clinical research associate, assistant project manager, project manager. So these are the roles and responsibilities, and which we can work at site teams and sponsor team. So coming to the data compiling analysis of the study, here in this team, data team will be there, one biostatistician will be there, clinical data coordinator will be there, clinical data management will be there, PV team will be there. So this is the just what is the role, what is the options we have, and where we need to work. What is the what is the what is the steps from which the drug will be developed, where the preclinical studies will be done, where the clinical studies will be done, how the clinical studies will be committed, like whether needs to be conducted as phase 1 or 2 or 3. It's all depends upon the SEC recommendations. So you choose what are the roles and where you need to work here. So this is the basic thing. Another thing. So coming to the coming to the internship program, I'll explain you how the internships will goes. So you can able to view my screen, right, everybody?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay. So as I said, and Preethi said, there is a lot of vacancies and there is a lot of roles and responsibilities and there is a lot of vacancies in the clinical research. So if you can learn in the theoretical way from any institute, not only from our institute, not only from our Risetrainings, anybody. So if you can learn, you will get an idea how the clinical research will be done, how the clinical trial process will be go, how the preclinical trials will be go. But you can't able to you can't able to feel the live oriented program because you are not going to work and you are not going to do any work with the institute. So just you are going to the classes or else you can attend in the online, you can listen the classes and you need to learn more in the theoretical way. But what is the concept of internship programs? Once you complete the learning from the institute, we are going to provide the internship programs, which is very useful for the pharma background students or any life science background students, because this internship program you can complete live with the live data collection. You can submit this thesis to the thesis as the final year project, whether it will be UG or PG. So how the internship program will be goes for module 1 at week 1, after completion your training from the rise the so and so institute. So we will start the training on drug discovery. So how the drug discovery starts, what is the process of drug discovery? It is all about 2 hours per day one. So second day we will train on the preclinical research, includes in vivo, in vitro, in toxicology studies. In a sense, day 2, 2 hours we will train. And training on clinical trial phases, day 3, 2 hours. And training on clinical site management. And what is the clinical trials? What is the hospital facilities we need to provide? What is the requirement of what is the requirement of hospitals to conduct the clinical? Because if you have known hospitals like any 100 bedded or 1000 bedded, if they are not registered with CDSCO, with CDSCO ethics committees, registered ethics committees, they are not eligible for the they are not eligible to conduct the clinical trials in the hospitals, because there is a specific specifications which provided the government all over India how to conduct the clinical trial, what are the facilities needs to be there in the clinical trials, what are the departments and what are the facilities, what is the square feet and everything. So this primary all information related to trial sites we will provide you within 2 hours on day 4. And we will give you one good clinical practice certification on day 5, 2 hours. This all about week 1 schedule. Coming to the week 2 schedule, you have learned all the lot of things theoretically from the institute as well as from us from week 1. You don't know, but how you need to prepare a protocol. What is the clinical trial protocol? You need to prepare the non-interventional clinical trial. But suppose there is a two types of model. One is interventional clinical trial, non-interventional clinical trial. Interventional clinical trial, in a sense, there is a new drug or ongoing drug which you are going to provide the drug to the patient or healthy voluntaries. If we provide any oral or external any drug to the patient, it comes on the interventional clinical trial. But we are not going to connect the interventional clinical trial. We are going to connect the non-interventional clinical trial. In a sense, we will collect the data from the patients. So how we will collect the patient's data and how we need to prepare I will show you later on. So we first in the week 2 schedule, we need to discuss, we need to prepare according to your ideas. You need to prepare a clinical trial, non-interventional clinical trial protocol. You need to design. On day 2, you need to prepare the case report form. On day 3, you need to prepare the informed consent form, which we are now going to collect the informed consent from the patients, which we are going to collect the data. And day 4, we are going to we are going to train up your people on the clinical trial related documents. What is the extra documents, how we need to prepare, we will train up you can able to prepare, because once we train up you can able to prepare your own all these documents like interventional protocol, case report form, informed consent form, clinical trial related documents. And at day 5, we will submit all these clinical trial documents and sub ethics committees, and we will get the approval. So on week 3, we can go. We will give you the options. You can go to the hospital directly. You can use this non-interventional protocol. Based on the protocol, based on the case report form, you can collect the data in the OPD forms. And on day 2, 3, 4, the collected data will be compiled and analyzed, and the final data will be prepared in the form of study report. So as I said, these all parameters will be correlated to the this one, this live clinical trials. So here we have submitted the data to the SEC committee. Here we are going to submit the documents to ethics committees on day 5 too. Okay. Here the conducting and collection of phase data. We are going to train you people to get the collect that on day week 3, day 4. You will go to the hospital departments and you will collect the OPD process. You can collect the data at hospitals. So step 8, submission of clinical study. Step 7, data compiling and analysis. Here on day 5, you will compile the data, and you will analyze, and you will prepare the report. Though this is the sequel of clinical trial, which you get the appreciation, which you get the knowledge in the live sessions. So when compared to non-technical trainings, this is the comes under the technical trainings. On the module 2, it is optional, week 4. So the entire data will be we will train up you people to write the manuscript, and we will submit the manuscript to any one of the publications. So you will get the publication. So I will show you how the clinical non-interventional data collection will be done. So this is the one of the students. So some of the students who have done the non-interventional study at M.Pharm NDR, they have submitted it to the university. They got the appreciation also. A non-interventional data collection study to determine the necessity of insulin dependency for diabetic patients related to age and weight. We have given the guidance. They have prepared the. You can all of them. Can you view my screen, right?
Yes, it is visible.
So okay. So these are the candidates. They have prepared the protocol, study title, version number. This is the live oriented program because it's related to clinical trials, live clinical trials. If you can done this non-interventional data collection study at least one study, you can go to the interview directly, because you know what is the protocol, you know what is the case report form, you know what is the ethics committees, how the ethics committees submissions will be, how the ethics committees will review and give the approval. So you can tell all these things. They will get impressed, because you have done the non-interventional clinical trial with all the approvals. So definitely they will give you the chance to work as the clinical research coordinator in the hospitals, or else clinical research associates in the organizations, because this is not any magic or any poetry. You will done the you will conduct the clinical trials in the patients. You will collect the data, you will compile, and you can publish. Everything is open. There is nothing confidential here. So this is the protocol. This is the introduction part. This is the primary objective, study objective, and how many patients they have collected. 20 patients they collected the data on 20 patients, group 1, group 2. This is the ethics committee approval. This is the case report form. They have prepared the case. We have guided. They have prepared the case report form. They have went to the hospitals. They have got this informed consent form signature. This is the case report form. They have collected the data. This is the additional documents. As I said, in this study, we have included the quality of life questionnaires of the patients. They will ask the patients what is the age, what is the duration of diabetic, BMI. Everything is in the form of questionnaires. This is the informed consent form. P-K, how the informed consent form needs to be completed. It included everything, and the final data will be analyzed, and final data will be reported in the form of conclusion. Okay, in the graphical representations, so that the same this one is published. So many articles are published. I will show you one of the article. This is the article. International Journal of Pharmaceutical Research and Applications. You people don't know because if your college given any guidance, good guidance, definitely you are already you have got some like publications. But no one in the screen are having any publications, right? Anybody having a publications? Tell me.
No, sir.
So what is the use of publications? If you are going to do any further jobs, or if you are going to plan for any abroad, definitely they will ask the publications. What is the impact factor of the publications? How long how much you have a knowledge? What is the journal name? What is the impact factor of journal? So in which year we have conducted, and who is the main author? Who is the co-author? Every day everybody they will ask, everything they will ask, and they will consider a part, because you can include this publication in your CV also compared to the fresher CV. You will get an appreciation also, because you are going to include the publication details in the CV. You are going to include the roles and responsibility which you have, which you are going to collect the data in the hospitals. What is the roles you have done? What are the roles and responsibilities in the final year project? Because this is the by two important factors, and there is a two dual uses for you people, because you can submit this final project as a thesis and you will get the publication, and meanwhile you will get an job opportunities also, clinical research, because I have shown you how the clinical research process will be done. So the same way we are going to train you people on the this one training program, this internship program, within the less cost with more knowledge. This is the main concept which we have collaborated with Risetrainings. So anybody can raise any questions regarding this, and also let me know whether you have understand or not.
Yes, guys, this is time for you. So you can ask questions one by one and raise your hands. If you have any questions, please raise your hands so that we can take questions one by one in a order. And also, if you are not comfortable on speaking, you can also type in. We can answer those questions also.
So
Right?
if you want in Telugu also, I can able to explain you. I will take more
Yes.
5 minutes, and I can able to explain in Telugu also. Don't feel shy. We are not going to pay anything for us. We are not going to pay anything for you. You can directly ask. We are for you. I can able to explain in Telugu also, because we also came from your
From your
students,
point, from your age.
from your age and from your qualifications, from your knowledge only. So that don't feel shy. I can able to explain in Telugu also. Please raise the hands who wants the session in Telugu also.
And also, guys, meanwhile, when this question and answer session is going on, so please try to fill up this Google feedback form. So I am sharing the link in your chat. So please check it one and fill the feedback form once. So that would be beneficial to you and us also to know about the session.
Don't worry whether you will join or not. We don't bother, and we are not like force you people to join. But please tell me give your genuine feedback so that we can improve from ourselves.
Yes. So guys, questions now. What do you want to know more about these internships and publications?
Anybody? Sharon, Kiran, Sweta, Venkata Krishna. Say everybody is there, right? So nobody is talking. Nobody is like having questions.
Yeah, hi sir. Like I'm Umarakshita. So actually, I stay in Bangalore. So, is it possible for any like you told like usually it is from Andhra Pradesh, right? Like,
So for first of all, for non-interventional data collection studies,
mm.
you are from your background.
Bangalore.
Actually, from I have all completed all my studies from Vijayawada. Like, but I after marriage I
Qualification.
relocated to Bangalore.
Qualification.
PharmD. I have done my PharmD from Nirmala College of Pharmacy.
So Nirmala College. So you know very well how the case sheets are there.
Yeah.
But you have done your final thesis with any one of some of the cases under non-interventional data only, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but when compared to your final thesis, this is the different module, right?
Yeah. Yes. Sir.
So your work is different and the clinical trial is work, because our work is our internship program is 100% compared to clinical trials.
Yeah. Yes.
So In your thesis, there is no need of ethics committee, right?
Yes, sir.
So we will provide you the ethics committees for non-interventional studies. We will provide you the ethics committee. That is no problem. For Bangalore also, we can give you the approval letter. But we will provide you some list of hospitals which we have good contacts. You can go and meet the doctor, sir. So I'm the pharma, Umar Akshita, I'm the pharmacy students. So I'm planning to collecting some data, sir. I have some. If you have no problem, just if you give the permission, I can able to complete my thesis, sir.
Okay.
So I will provide you, because in depth I will discuss you, because it is not Bangalore is completely commercial area, right?
Yes, sir.
So I need to discuss with my colleagues who will cooperate to give the data, because we are not going to give a trial on any patients. Just we are going to site and we will collect the data, only demographic data, what is the medical history, something. So some of the doctors who are interested, they will give, we will provide you the data also, that is not an issue. But prior to that, if you are really interested, if you have any, if you want to publish the data, because publication is not a matter of lakhs or thousands, it is a matter of 2 or 3 thousand for each candidate. If you go with group, it will be the cost will be decreased. We will guide you. Just discuss with Preethi, Sudha, so she'll guide it and we'll plan accordingly. That is not an issue, but the concept which we have designed is new, and who will not give you anywhere you will not get it, right? I think
Yes.
not lot of knowledge in the pharmacy. No one will provide all these internships. We will definitely will support you. So just Preeti, just mark a
Yeah,
contact
yeah.
for Akshitan. We'll discuss with separate.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you, Umar Akshita, please fill up the Google form sheet so that we will contact you back. And
Yeah.
I'll explain you all the possibilities from
Right.
from the end of Rise Trainings and Fusion CRO team, means how we can help you for these publications and the internship, in the internship program also.
So,
Oh,
and another thing, clinical research coordinator is not a high job, and clinical research associate is not a high job. Clinical research project manager is not. So everybody is equal to doctor only, because we are going to work with doctor. We are going to work with sites. So every person
Everyone
knowledge,
will.
everyone and every person knowledge is equal to doctor only, but not up to mark. But definitely for those indication and those trial, every doctor will give the response respect to clinical research coordinators, clinical research associates, and clinical trial assistants also, because this is a white collar job and official job, which we are going to deal with the different and high doctors, high qualified doctors also.
So we are all on the same page.
Same
All job positions are on the same page,
same pages.
right? So any other questions? In
So
next
don't
person?
not only so don't feel shy to ask any questions. You as you are beginners, if you can raise a question, it will be very easyful to, like we will mark a note on this your question, because it will be useful for us. So anybody can ask the questions. So first of all, let us know, have you understand this session, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
You can type in the chat also.
Also no problem.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, how
So,
much interest you are, how much passionate about the
so
clinical
please raise
research?
your hands. How many of you are very interested to take these publications and these internship programs? Raise your hands.
Okay. How many people are interested to take only clinical research training and not internship program?
Only clinical research.
Only clinical research.
Course. See, Risetrainings is offering so many courses here, right? So if we offer only means clinical research course, is that beneficial to you? Or if we provide this internship along with this, yeah, right, means clinical research course, that would be beneficial to you. Which one?
You can raise the hands.